Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and yeah, no face cam right now. Everything's already put away for the day. I just wanted to do this quick video because Anita Sarkeesian said some dumb shit on Twitter, and I gotta call her out for it. Because, yeah, that's kind of the game we play. Anita is a person who I very much would love to sit down and have a conversation with. If anything, just to kind of go, why? 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 Come on. Why do you do this? You know you're full of shit. You know that you are full of crap, but you still do it. Why? What's wrong with you? Is it just the victim complex? You can't get over it? You have to keep doing it? And of course, all the male beta in the media that are all like her white knights that would fall on their sword for her at a moment's notice. Jesus, they've just defended her now for a half decade. A half decade, by the way. Her Kickstarter ended in June of 2012. Tropes v. Women was supposed to have 6 episodes out by August of 2012. It has been nearly 5 years and the series is still not complete. And I have a lot of feelings about that. I think I've specified that I do feel that she's only keeping it going because of her nonprofit. I really think that's how it fucking works. But anyway, Anita is still, by her own definition, a pop culture critic. And it's one thing to critique pop culture that you play. It's another thing entirely to deceive people and critique pop culture on shit you don't even finish or have a solid fundamental understanding. And of course, I'm referring to the manipulation of the Hitman Absolution footage to showcase that the game rewards you for killing strippers or knocking out strippers or being violent against women in the game, when in fact it's the exact fucking opposite. Or the stolen footage from Let's Play channels in the early days of Tropes v. Women. So many things with Anita. 5 years. This is what we're doing. 5 years. But anyway, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's what we're talking about today. So she says here on Twitter, there's so much to admire in Breath of the Wild. Its gameplay is incredible, but that absolutely doesn't excuse its use of tired, sexist plot devices. And this is how you know that she did not complete the fucking game. This is how you know she has not beaten Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Because if she did, if she fucking did, she would know that the game is not falling back on those old tropes, all right, of Zelda being locked away in a tower and Link having to save her. That's not happening at all in this fucking game. She goes on to say, critics might call out sexism in games with bad gameplay, but often act as if it's not worth mentioning when the gameplay is great. It is. Except you do that. So you use that on Hitman Absolution by saying that it was sexist in the gameplay, all while overlooking that it wasn't, but you were doing it to prove a point, a dishonest point, and a point you've been called out for multiple times in the past couple years since that video went live. But she continues. Through the memories players can collect, Breath of the Wild acknowledges the ongoing problem with Zelda being damseled but doesn't do anything about it. Okay. Spoiler alert time, guys. The plotline of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild goes as follows. Hyrule is in a state of despair, as is usually the case with Hyrule in a Legend of Zelda game. 100 years earlier, Link and Zelda fought Calamity Ganon. Link was gravely injured, but they fought him together. Together, all right? He was gravely injured. It was her idea to place him in the Temple of Resurrection so he could revive. And she used the last of her magic to lock him away, to lock Calamity Ganon away. And she has kept him there ever since. She is not strong enough to fight him on her own, but her strength is what's keeping Calamity Ganon in check, while Link, his quest, is to get up, to go and gather the 4 champions from the corners of Hyrule, and team up with Zelda to take down Ganon forever. And again, spoiler alert, at the end of the game, Link does get Ganon down to the end, but Zelda is the one that finishes him off. She completes her task. She uses her power. She is not damseled. She has sacrificed herself for 100 years. Let Hyrule go to shit for 100 years while she protects it from Calamity Ganon. while Link can revive and come back to help her. That's a sacrifice. It's not a damsel, it's a fucking sacrifice. Zelda is as essential to the plotline of Legend of Zelda games, because they fucking revolve around her name. She's always been essential. Even when she's playing as Sheik, even when you know all of that shit, she's always been essential. But Anita can never understand that. Anita has to be a reactionary. She has to not know the plotline, she's willfully overlooking the plotline. Because she finishes here by saying, "The slew of perfect scores Breath of the Wild received from critics shows that most still don't give a damn about how women are represented in games." Okay. Anita, you are a joke. You have been a joke for a half decade. I think at this point now, pretty much everyone knows it. You're going to continue pushing these narratives because you know that your reactionary sycophants are going to fall in line for whatever Queen Anita has to say. You're a blight on gaming. You're a blight on the community. You are a charlatan, a phony, a fake, a liar. You've been doing this now for 5 years. You've been called out consistently for 5 years. There is evidence to back up that you don't know what in the goddamn fuck you are talking about, yet you still continue to keep going. It's hysterical to me. And for all of you out there who might be a naysayer and go, "You're just attacking her because she's a woman." I'm not. I don't give a shit that Anita's a woman. She is a faker as a person. She is a manufactured product. She is a person who has crafted an identity based in victim narrative. She has used it as a way to profit immensely off of the actual suffering and struggling of people in the real world. Her feminism is fake. She uses it as a way to guilt and control. This is known. This is absolutely known. It's proven time and time again. It's hysterical to watch. It's utterly hysterical to watch. But here we are, 5 years later, still talking about the nonsense that is Anita Sarkeesian. Sad, really. It is. There's lots of other things going on in the world, but look, Anita is right, has the right to criticize any game however she wants. No questions asked, hands down has that right. But what she doesn't have the right to are her own facts. And as the facts consistently show, time and time again, she manipulates them in order to fucking push her agenda, to push her narrative. And that's where people like me and Sargon and Thunderfoot and Jordan Owen 42 and even Davis Arini come into play. People who monitor the lies she spews and calls her out with the correct information. Because that's what we as a community need to do. Fight back against sensationalist bullshit and people that are trying to divide the community by propping up imaginary boogeymen, all while damseling themselves from any and all criticism and have it absolutely propagated by the media that should be questioning everything she fucking says. But they don't, and they haven't. Because if they do, if they remotely question anything Anita has said, they're branded the enemy. They're a heretic of the cause. They are anti-woman, anti-feminist. That is the world that she's created for herself. If you want to use a proper analogy in this particular case, let's say, for example, we're actually going to pull Breath of the Wild here. Anita's Calamity Ganon, who has been terrorizing the Hyrule, i.e. gaming, for 5 years. And the thing is, she's tricked everybody, just like Ganon did. But, you know, it is what it is. She'll continue to do what she does, and we'll continue to call it out. It's a weird, and I'm not going to lie, sad dance that we all do over the course of this time. You know, I wish Anita would actually engage in a debate, engage in a discussion that's not 100% contained and controlled. But that'd be asking too much of the feminist pop culture critic. Because, you know, that would utterly make her appear more human, which she clearly likes to act like she's not. So there's that. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Anita is right? Is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild another sexist, misogynistic, women-hating, trope-using game? Or does Anita not know her head from her anus? These are things I want to know. Write them down in the comments. I will talk to you guys later. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Check back often for more content for me. Have a great day. Peace out.